You don't need concrete to call it a road. Firestone Destination Tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.
Wendel Burt first dipped his toe in the tire business in the 1970s, working as a technician at a Goodyear tire store. By the early 80s, he worked his way up to management and was recruited by another independent tire dealer to be an area sales manager. Soon after, Wendel recruited his brother Ron to start Burt Brothers Tire Service in 1991 in Bountiful, Utah. Over the years, the brothers have expanded the business to 14 locations. Currently, it's in its second generation of ownership with Wendel's sons Jake, Jason, and Jeremy, and Ron's sons Cory and Brandon, who are now at the helm. Last year, the business was named the winner of Tire Review's prestigious Top Shop Award, being selected as the best of the best of independent tire dealers in North America.
Welcome to Johnny G and Friends. I'm Johnny G, and on today's podcast, we're joined by two good friends, Jake and Wendel Burt. Guys, welcome to the show.
Welcome, Johnny G. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're happy to be here.
Well, great. So, Wendel, August 9th, 2000, company I worked for, Bridgestone, announces the largest recall, not only in their history, but in the entire industry. And things are in pandemonium. And you sign up to be a tire dealer 2 months later. Were you crazy or what?
You know, we couldn't believe, first of all, there'd be a recall on that tire because it had been doing such a great job. And we were buying three and matching the people's spare, putting them on the ground. We were blown away by that. And then we watched how it was going. And we'd been buying a lot of Blizzaks up till then. And it was one of those kinds of things. We wanted to try to become a dealer and figure out how we could actually get in on helping out. And so I really did. I just saw in the trades a big ad for Bridgestone Firestone, and I just made a phone call. And sure enough, I was reached out to, and before I know it, I'm on the phone with you and all your executives, and
yep.
It was amazing. That's a great start right there. And you
well,
just was to play. I couldn't believe I was actually talking to the president. I mean, I'm used to going to conferences where the president goes in, got a couple of guards following him. He's in and out on an airplane and everything. And here I am talking to the higher ups of the whole company. And it's like, oh my gosh, this was like a family. This was amazing.
That's awesome. Well, I appreciate your willingness to reach out to us, and especially during that crazy kind of time we had there. But thanks again, and thanks for all your business this last 20-some years, guys. Really, you're unbelievable. So, Wendel, how did you become a tire dealer? What started?
Well, I started out in '77 with Goodyear, just changing tires in the shop, and worked my way up there, and switched off to another independent dealer and kind of learned the ropes. Was in management, grew that business, and then my brother joined with me in '91, and we started Burt Brothers. Not wanting to necessarily leave the area, had opportunities to go and different parts of the country, but Utah is kind of a pretty family-oriented place. Wanted to keep the family here. And so we started off on our own in '91 in Bountiful, Utah with one store.
That's awesome. What made you want to leave the comfort of working for a corporation and going to be an independent?
Well, the idea of being able to stay in our own area, control our own destiny. We didn't really have anything else to fall back on. Neither Ron or I were graduates from college, but we knew the meaning of hard work, and we could see that we could make a living doing this.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Jake, tell our audience how you and I first met.
Johnny G, my first experience with you was, we were in Vegas at, I think it was the Bellagio and Bridgestone meetings, and I think the real attraction for me was, I think you gave me my first iPod. You know, it was like 2005. The Shuffle came out, and it was awesome. But what I really remember the most was you up on stage with the Japanese executives and just telling the whole thing. And then there would be hoopla and just big music, and everything was just awesome. And then you'd walk up to everybody and give everyone knucks, like the Johnny G right here.
So
and
to this day, we
still do the Johnny
Johnny
G right here. So
Especially today with all the COVID stuff,
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, and I don't know how many people can remember too many things that they heard at all those meetings. You walked away with a good feeling and a good vibe. But tell me if you remember this, Johnny. As we all walked in, there was containers of 2 types of water. And I think one was Dasani and the nicer bottle, and the other one was more like we're drinking right now.
Right.
And you pointed out that the people had their choice when they walked in, and most all of the better bottled, better packaged, appeared to be better water was taken by everybody. It was free to everybody. There was barrels of it. And you pointed out that people do want quality, and tied that back. And I've used that in our own sales meetings as well, that people do want the quality. And if we downgrade them to another brand, we've lost an opportunity to keep that quality going. And we've kind of cheapened the next sale down, because now they're kind of gone down the stream. So you got to protect that brand.
Yeah, branding is so important, and also the customer branding is important. I remember I learned early on in my career to never judge a book by its cover. And somebody would walk into the store, maybe he had blue jeans with holes in them or something, and well, this guy isn't going to buy our top of the line. He's going to buy whatever. But then I found out really quickly that all of a sudden I was wrong, and he wanted our best tire. So never judge a book by its cover also. Some of those little lessons about branding with the bottled water or not judging a customer, it's all good stuff that we learn in this wonderful business we're in,
Absolutely.
100%.
So, Jake, normally when I'm talking to business owners, somebody says, well, I do operations, I do back end, but I mean, you got Jeremy, you got Jason, you got Cory, you got Brandon, you got yourself. How do you figure out who does what?
That's a good question right there. And I really have to tip my hat to my my dad and my uncle for really kind of just growing us in the business. I mean, when we were young, we were fitted for brooms at very young ages, and we were in the shops just working our way up and really proving ourselves. They made us get college educations. They, made us really decide if we really wanted to be in this business. And, they kept us along the road and getting us to car races and in the pits and a few things that just really endeared the car spirit to us, and to want to be in the business and to want to take it to the next level. And I think that's what's really good, is just working with 2 of my brothers, 2 of my cousins. We're all equal partners, and we've all had those same upbringings. We've all busted tires. We've all changed oil. We've all done all those kind of things, had leadership roles in managing stores and such. And as we look back, we can know what our strengths and maybe our weaknesses are, and where we can be better suited in the company. And I think we've done a really good job just kind of dividing and conquering. And, everybody has their space and knows where they need to be and where they can do the best at what they do. And it's not, we call on each other to come help us out. If we're struggling in one of these other areas too, we've been able to do that really well. And, just get along, because we have the same end goal. We want this business to grow. We want to, organically grow. We want new store growth. We want our employees to grow with us. So we've got a lot of common goals that we work hard on, and just wake up every day and make it a great day together.
Awesome. So Wendel, you and Ron take off on what Jake just said. How do you instill that passion that I just heard in his voice? He's got passion, this man. Okay. Sometimes you can turn businesses over to generations, but you don't have that passion. How did you guys instill that passion?
Well, we have a little bit of a competitive spirit in our family, if you hadn't already noticed. And one way I was able to motivate my boys early on was just tell them, okay, I want you to get your education so you have something to fall back on. But truthfully, I want you to get into a different line of work. This is this is too hard. You won't be able to do it. And long term, I'd rather see you get into another business. But then I'd always throw in there, but you could figure out a way to be a millionaire another way. And all of a sudden, and once they were all on board after they went to school and got back full time, I could see they were invested in it. But I just kept saying it's a hard business. It's not an easy business, and you got to be committed all the time to do it. But that was always one of our talks, is how we don't want the second generation to tube this business. And that's was a big concern of Ron and I's.
That's awesome. You ought to write a book on that, buddy.
He needs to.
Yeah.
If with your help, maybe I could.
So Wendel, you and Ron start the business in 1991, I believe. And, you put it all on the line. Every last nickel dime you had, you put into the business. And I heard you had some kind of deal where you had a quota every day of selling X amount of tires, but you wouldn't go home until you did something. What was that all about?
Well, just competitiveness ourselves and just knowing survival. And really, there's no other alternative but survival. We had a goal at that time for like 24 tires a day as a goal. And that was about double what the Goodyear stores or the Firestone stores were selling at that time. And we weren't just trying to undercut them on the price. We just wanted to be there with good service. But we also had another little internal goal that we can't go home unless we sold at least one tire.
Ah, okay.
So that was just an internal thing. And, to this day, no one will admit that ever happened. But I think there was one day that we didn't sell a tire and we really felt bad about it. It was like 9 o'clock and we still hadn't sold a tire.
It happens. So Jake, I believe you, your brother, your cousins, you're entering your third year of ownership now in the company. Yeah, give us a bird's eye view of what the company is today.
Business is good. We are growing. We've got 14 locations now, a couple more in the works. We're fastly approaching 400 employees.
Wow.
Working with us right here. And, every day is a new day. When we wake up, we have no idea what new challenge we're going to have to face today, but we have great positive attitudes that, we'll be able to find a good solution, take care of our customers. More importantly, we have great state-of-the-art equipment in all of our facilities. We're looking at investing in like future technologies already in our new tire stores of the future. And it's a great day to be a Burt Brothers employee. It's, we live in Utah. Everything's really beautiful here. And if you don't live here already, don't move here, but, everything's good. And, we're just happy. We have a great positive attitude. We've got our goals. We've got our managers dialed in. They know what they need to do. And every team member really is on board, and we're just moving forward. It's going to be a great year.
That's awesome. So as second generation owners, you, your brother, your cousins, what have you learned from the two old guys, your dad and your uncle? What's something that sticks in your mind that you learned from them?
Ever since a young age, it's always, you got to outwork everybody right here. And hard work really takes you places, I'd love to be, how can I say this, but hard work. They just taught us, like, you're the first one there, you're the last one to go home. You got to be putting a great example in for your people. If you aren't willing to do the job that you're asking some of your employees to do, you're probably not going to get their buy-in right there. And so we try to take that to the next level right there. We're trying to keep our employees trained, give them what they need, have all the right tools to just make the right decisions, to take care of our customers, to sell the right tires, and just to take care of everybody.
So before I switch back to Wendel, what's some things that have changed since you guys have taken over? Closed on 3 days a week or something, or what?
The hardest decision was like during COVID was just moving our opening hours from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m., but that was a big culture shock for us right there. But we still have employees that still show up at 7, just to take care of customers. But some things that have changed. I mean, we're definitely way more out there advertising on the internet. A lot of just special, search engine optimization tools, getting people in. You start thinking tires, we want a Burt Brothers ad to come up on your mobile device. We've tried to just put everything in the fingertips to make the shopping easy. Our website is state-of-the-art, burtbrothers.com. You can get all the information. You can buy tires right online. You can make appointments. Appointments have been really huge for us, just helping maximize everybody's time. We know how valuable time is. And if we can, schedule in time for them for their oil changes or tires or whatever services they need, and we've really seen organic growth in that. Our hiring processes, we've streamlined a lot of those things. We've developed apps that we can use that just help employees keep their time clocks and everything dialed in. They have everything in their fingertips, and their pay stubs to, their taxes and their direct deposit forms. So it's just less calls to HR and different things like that. So, and most importantly things too, like my dad said, we've got tire busters that started out at entry-level positions in our business that are now store managers, or they're now ASC certified mechanics, L1 mechanics. And we've done a really good job just streamlining that whole path, that this is not just a job. This is a career. You can stay right here with Burt Brothers and have a great life. And let me show you how. This is the pathway. These are the goals that we're going to work on. It's not going to happen next week. We definitely have to clarify that, but slow and steady wins the race. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And it just takes every day showing up, having a great attitude, and, working together as a team, and obviously making sure we have everybody on that same bus going forward in the right seats. That helps.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jody, if I can say something there.
Yeah.
Is the business, we started out with one store, and it wasn't long where Ron and I were at the top in the management. We found that you can't stay the same in business, which means you're losing as many customers as you're getting. Your business just automatically grows if you do a good job. Well, what happens is then you also grow up people, and we soon realized that we were a training ground for car dealerships, service riders, other mechanics, and other places, because they needed other skills and different things going on. So we would expand, our stores as we had the people to do it. We could cut our staff in half and go to the new store. And so the business automatically grows people if you're doing everything right as well. Your business is growing, your people are growing, you're giving them opportunities. And so that's also how we grew our business, Johnny.
So you're building your bench strength from within and saying, okay, who's going to be the next guy to replace this guy? And so when you open up that next store, you've got a crew to go in there then.
That's right. Yeah.
That's awesome.
We announce it that we're going here, and then everyone just starts to say, hey, I'd love it. What do you think?
Yeah.
Closer to my house. I'll go to that store.
Yeah. You open up that new store and it's nobody's first day on the job,
Yeah, that's it. That's great. So, Wendel, I visited thousands of tire dealers in my career, my 40 years. I walk through one of your warehouses and I see that you're shaving tires. Like, what's that all about? I've never seen that anywhere else.
Well, in our area, there's a lot of all-wheel drive vehicles. Mm-hmm. And the tolerances are very close on the tires, 1/32, 2/32, maybe 3 difference. And the car dealers are the ones that are really pushing this. And one of the things I wanted to touch on earlier too is we don't recommend anything in our business that a car dealer of that brand wouldn't also recommend. So we've always walked that safety line to not ever get a bad rap, and work really closely on making sure our recommendations are right on. But we saw an opportunity that sounds a little counterproductive and not really that great for our bottom line, but it actually has turned out to be a real positive thing for us. Is we will take a new tire and shave it down to match the other ones that are on their car. Say you've got 10,000, 15,000 miles and you blow a tire out, you roll into the car dealership and they're going to tell you, well, you got to have all four. And man, they're not cheap. And so it looks like, wow, why would you do this to not lose the tire sale ourselves? But man, you can't believe it. The body shops, the car dealers, everyone's calling us to say, hey, here's this tire. We come and get them. We can supply the tire. And just taking the high road on that has been amazing.
So you're saving the customers lots of money that way by doing that.
Absolutely. They come in, what are my options? I was told I had to do, but don't you guys have a way of that? So our little catch on that is let Burt Brothers shave you money.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, so what's all these ringing bells I'm hearing here, guys?
Hey, the word's out. Johnny G's in the house. You got an audience. You got people coming in here.
I like it. All high-tech security there. Very good. Very good. So, Jake, what's the biggest challenge you see in business today, and how are you, your brother, your cousins confronting it?
I think I might have the biggest struggle that we're seeing right now in the business is obviously just finding new employees and getting people that really want to work, and I think find meaningful work. And the challenge that we've taken upon ourselves in our employment program and our path that we try to just show our employees. We've got multiple employees that started out as entry-level technician, they're tire busters, and now are running our stores as store managers, area managers, or they're L1 ASC certified mechanics. So we can show them the path. I like bringing them in to some of their interviews and letting them know that, hey, you know what? I was on the brink of maybe not graduating high school, and I stuck with it. I went here. I helped do a lot of these Burt Brothers training classes and everything that they provided for us, and they got me here. And now I'm not going anywhere else. I'm here for life, and they've taken great care of me. And so that really helps our young generation of, employees, that maybe don't know what they want to do. They think that if they want to move up, that means they got to quit and go get a job somewhere else. And we try to break those barriers down to just say, hey, let's talk, let's have conversations, let's find out what your goals are and how we can help you accomplish those. And hopefully Burt Brothers is a part of your goals and your future career. We're investing a lot in Robo Tire, the robots changing tires.
Really?
Yeah, realistically. It's probably next year. It'll probably have it next year.
But I saw how they can change 4 tires in 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, so somebody has to pull the car in, right?
Yeah. So there's still human involvement and everything. And what we like about it too is it just takes, this tire buster position and really turns them into a robot engineer, and so it builds some credibility there and their, even attitudes and stuff for showing up for work. They're already good with joysticks and video games and everything. And so there's a lot of those kind of details to get these things going. But yeah, basically a human pulls the car in, helps it get racked and on the hoist to raise it up. You input all the data, the VIN, it knows the torque specs, it knows the 13/16 socket it needs to take off the lug nut. If there's a wheel lock key or a center cap, obviously the human's going to need to be interactive there to take those kind of things off, and then really remove the air from the tires. And then from there, he helps the first tire get through the tire machine process right there. They're all automated and everything. They set it up correctly, do the first tire, the machine lifts it on, puts it back off, moves it over to the balancer. He'll have to pound on the weights. He or she will have to pound on the weights right there. And then it really grabs it right off the balancer, puts it back on the car, torques it. They'll finish with resetting the TPMS systems and pull the car out, and the customer will drive away happy. And all be, there's 2 robots, one on each side. So they're doing it, simultaneously there. And what we really like about it too is it is it all the pain points that we've had along the way with back injuries, lifting the assemblies on the machines.
They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger.
As they get bigger and heavier and such like that. The robots take away all of those kind of future workman's comp claims and such. So
that's huge. That's huge.
Huge.
That's where number one injury comes from, right?
Right there. So that's really what we're looking at, not necessarily to replace any of our workforce or anything like that, but just to make things easier. And it will almost be pretty amazing to come see a robot put tires on your car, and being a new experience to getting your tires installed.
So when do you think you might have this in place at Burt Brothers? This year?
We already have multiple tire machines. The automated tire machines are showing up in our stores right now. We got about four locations that already have those. And then the robots, there's a possibility it could be the end of the year. We're just waiting for some software glitches. They have the domestic. We're still working on like the European fitments of cars and just trying to get that software figured out. And then we've got all of our stores. We've done site visits in all of our locations. So we know, moving bays around and making sure there's some, unfortunately, that's not going to work in those locations, but the ones that it is, we're gung ho and ready to start a little bit of construction to, move bays around and such, hoists, I should say. So they can accommodate the robot arms, and we can't wait.
That's cool. And then it gives you guidance. So when you build store number 15 or whatever, you now say, okay, we got to do this different, right?
Yeah, it's already in the works. Our newest store we're building right now in the design phase is going to have it all ready to go. So it's going to be dialed in.
So cool.
And the quality of the wheel balance, it's all calibrated perfectly like a factory balance. You know how smooth the tires are coming out of the factory, and it's really hard sometimes to duplicate that exact same thing, but that's where they've got the quality nailed down. So everything is just dialed right in, perfect air pressure, everything.
Well, then what it's also going to do is here's everybody else, and now here's Burt Brothers, because we work with new technology, right? And why wouldn't you want to have your car taken there? I mean,
yeah,
the no brainer. That's I didn't realize you guys were doing that. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be fun. Yeah, it was actually fun in one of our stores that has the machines already. We did tires on a McLaren yesterday, and normally a car like that comes in, everybody gets scared, and the store manager's out there with white gloves trying to get it dialed in, and we put it right on the machine, and it made it look like it was a 235 75 15 just on the 50-50 machine. It was pretty impressive.
And I guarantee you that McLaren owner told all his buddies that McLarens and Ferraris and Porsches and whatever, and say, hey, you got to go to Burt Brothers, man.
Yeah. It was pretty impressive.
No scratch in the wheels, just beautiful. Torque's perfect when you go out the door. No wheels flying off later.
I'm getting goosebumps. That's really cool. That's really cool. I see you guys on Instagram all the time. I'm liking your stuff. You got fancy trucks with wheels, and it gets me excited, because if somebody came down to me today and said, Johnny G, you can come back again, not somebody, the dear Lord, whatever, came back and said, Johnny G, I'm going to bring you back again. What do you want to be, a movie star, a professional athlete? I said, no, put me back in the tire business, It's the best business. I wouldn't want to have done anything else,
And Joni, we couldn't have done it here and got to where we're at without my great partner, my brother Ron, who jumped in there with me and learned the business as well, and my other two sons and my two nephews. Together we make a real strong team. Everybody respects each other. There isn't one of them that's always got to be pulled up by the other ones. They're all just equally yoked, pulling ahead. And that's how Ron and I were. And so I don't think they want to let us down.
Maybe that's why you guys got the Top Shop Award last year, huh?
Oh yeah. We had a lot of years. Yeah, a lot of years in the making for that right there. And we're super grateful.
Well, congratulations on that. Guys, I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for being part of Johnny G and Friends today and taking the time to be on my podcast. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you, Johnny
Thanks
G.
for having us.
Johnny G. Right here, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, guys.
Give us a Johnny G.
You don't need concrete to call it a road. Firestone Destination Tires. Whatever you drive, drive a Firestone.